Hey friends, Colleen here with another video for Layered Life. Today I will be making 3 cards using the Candy House Ephemera kit. This is such a fun kit with gorgeous vibrant colors, and I'm so excited to be using it today. For my first card, I'm making a very simple, straightforward card featuring some texture paste using a stencil for the background. So for the first card, I'm using these ephemera pieces that spell out yay with an exclamation point, and I'm just taking some foam tape to prop that up on the card. I think it adds some great dimension. So I just cut down the foam tape to fit on the back of the yay, and then I'll go ahead and adhere that to the card. Now that I have the yay sentiment adhered to the card, I'm gonna go ahead and add a secondary sentiment that just says it's your birthday. This is from the Tiny Words birthday stamp set from Simon Says Stamp. So I just stamped that onto some white cardstock, cut it down, and then I'll use some liquid glue to adhere it. I made sure to use liquid glue because the texture paste definitely works better with liquid glue, and that is the first card completed. Like I said, very simple, and on to the next card. So for this card, it's going to be a bit more colorful, and I'm actually using a piece of the packaging from the ephemera kit. So this was just the background of the packaging. I took it out of the plastic, and I'm going to cut it down to be slightly smaller than my A2 size card base. So I think I take off a ½ inch from each side. So I have the rainbow adhered to my card, and now I'm going to look for a sentiment. So I pull out my binder of dies, and I'm flipping through knowing that I want this to be a birthday card. I had a couple different dies in mind, and ultimately I go with this, I believe it's called Happy all kinds of happy. Yes, all kinds of happy from the Greetery die set. So this is just like the title says, it's all different versions of happy. I keep all the dies connected so I can just cut them all out at once, and I'll keep the ones that I'm not using in an envelope for another future card. But I really like this one that's kind of, it's giving retro vibes for sure, which definitely matches the theme of the kit. I do end up moving the rainbow up a little bit, just so that the rainbow and the sentiment take up the center of the card. I had originally put the rainbow a little bit low so that that was central, but I want the sentiment to be part of that as well. I found that the happy sentiment was falling a little bit flat on the card, and I wanted it to stand out even more. So I cut the happy die out of some white cardstock, and I will stack the sentiment up. So I'll just take the white and stack it behind the black using some liquid adhesive, and I'll use my fingertips to kind of align the letters together and make sure that it looks great. I actually did this twice, so it's ultimately 3 layers of cardstock. The top black layer is a thinner cardstock than the bottom layers. The bottom layers are 110 pound. So now that I have that stacked up, I think it adds a little bit more dimension and just makes the happy really pop off the page. Using the Simon Says Stamp Tiny Words birthday stamp set again for this, except this time it's just the word birthday, and I'm curving the stamp to go along the curve of the A. This is such a fun technique to use, and if you're new to stamping, just know that when you curve your stamp like this, the second you take it off of your acrylic block or your stamp positioning tool, it will go back to normal. So here is the finished card. I think it's so colorful and fun, and I love it so much. And on to the third one. So for this card, I am doing some ink blending using a stencil from the Greetery and some inks from the Stamp Market. I tried to match the colors I was using to the Ephemera kit, and I think I did a pretty good job. First, I'm going in with the color Sunshine, and the mistake, or it worked out for me, but I recommend masking off the stencil. I was kind of getting excited and ahead of myself, and I didn't stick down my stencil, and I didn't mask off any space around it. So I definitely recommend doing that. As you can see here, I did actually go off the edge, but I came back and covered it up anyway, so it didn't really matter. But I'll have a list of all the inks I used down below. I did show them on the screen, but I added a couple more. I used, I don't know what it's called, maybe Citrine or something similar to Citrine, as well as I went in with Melon here, but then I wanted to darken it up quite a bit, so I went back in with Mango. Now I am taking the ephemera pieces from the kit that I want to add to this card. There are these adorable flowers. There's a whole bunch of them in all different colors. And I'll just cut the border down, and then I wanted to have it add dimension to the card, but it was falling a little bit flat. So I got out my craft knife and I'm actually going to cut along the lines of the petals. At first, this first line I cut all the way to the center, but then I obviously realized that if I did that on all the petals, the flower would come apart. So for the rest of them, I just went halfway down. And then once I have it all cut apart, you can see I kind of zhuzh it up and add some dimension. Once I have the flowers arranged on the card as I want them, I go ahead and use some liquid glue to adhere them down. I'm only putting the glue in the center of the flower so that the petals can still stand up a bit and, like I said before, add dimension to the card. Now I will go in with a sentiment. This is from the Tori stamp set from Felicity Jane. I think it's such a fun sentiment and it works with this card perfectly. And then the finishing touch is adding some gemstones here. This is from Pink Fresh Studio and they're just little clear gems. I add them to the centers of the flowers and then around the rest of the card. And that's the third card finished. I love how all three of these turned out. I think they're such fun, bright cards, perfect to celebrate birthdays. If you're interested in Layered Life, make sure to head over to their website, which I have linked down below. And thank you so much for watching today's video. I really appreciate it, and I'm sure I will see you again soon. Thanks. Bye.